Rishi Sunak's ascent to power has generated a lot of interest in India. He has also promised to fix the mistakes made by his predecessor. Sunak highlighted that the country is facing a profound economic crisis at a time when UK is reeling under enormous economic stress, and India, on the other hand, seems a bright spot on the world stage from an economic point of view. We could not witness a UK-India FTA on Diwali, as was hoped by the former Prime Minister Boris Johnson in early 2022. However, we do have an Indian origin British PM in 10 Downing Street now. Rishi Sunak's ascent to power has generated a lot of interest in India, with the youngest British PM in history taking his oath on the Bhagavad Gita. Although the recent political turmoil within the Conservative Party and economic difficulties have provided an opportunity for him to become the British Prime Minister, this is certainly a huge achievement for British democracy. This indicates further maturity in British politics, attitudes, and its democracy. This is not a small achievement. It also shows that merit and competence get rewarded in a free British society. But sentiments aside, we must focus on the impact this result will have on UK-India relations, especially from an economic perspective, at a time when UK is reeling under enormous economic stress, and India, on the other hand, seems a bright spot on the world stage from an economic point of view. In his first speech as PM, Sunak highlighted that the country is facing a profound economic crisis, and Putin's war in Ukraine has destabilized energy markets and supply chains the world over. He has also promised to fix the mistakes made by his predecessor. His appointments may bring some calm in financial markets, but his political leadership to implement hard economic decisions, to control inflation and inject growth still needs to be demonstrated. But what needs to be considered objectively is the impact of Rishi Sunak's election on UK-India economic ties, an impact that experts are saying will be marginal at best. The bilateral ties are already on an upward trajectory. This momentum will continue. The Comprehensive Strategic Partnership, Roadmap 2030, and British tilt towards the Indo-Pacific have already brought the two countries closer. The most important deliverable expected from an economic viewpoint is the bilateral FTA, or a free trade agreement. Apart from agreement on many chapters, mobility of skilled Indians to the UK could be a sticky point. Another Indian origin MP, Suella Braverman, has been reappointed as Home Secretary. She earlier branded Indians as the largest group of migrants who overstayed in the UK. Sunak has also been an early backer of Brexit, wants more control of its borders, and favors deporting of asylum seekers to Rwanda. So tough negotiations on mobility issue are expected under the Sunak administration. Although the UK's economic conditions are not very favorable towards the new trade agreement, both sides feel that an early FTA will help trade and investment in the coming years. Internationally speaking, Sunak will continue to follow the UK's role and responsibilities at the United Nations Security Council, NATO, G7 and G20. With his international exposure and background, he will have a little difficulty in adjusting to his role. No change is expected in Britain's prominent role in support of Ukraine. At this point in history, Sunak has got an opportunity to prove his capability in stabilizing the British economy. The markets would expect a detailed and credible tax rise, expenditure cut, and defense spending plan of action. The accumulated economic problems are the result of Brexit shocks, the pandemic, and the Ukraine war. Some of the issues can be tackled through domestic responses, but many issues need wider coordination within Europe and beyond. Still, a limited economic stability can strengthen him politically within the Conservative Party's rank and file. Tories are fast losing popularity. Sunak's main job at the moment is to keep the party united so that it can avoid a general election which could prove disastrous for the Conservatives. The Brexit is done. Brexiters are now reluctant to go to electorates. Of course, one would hope that economic relations between UK and India become stronger and mutually beneficial. Although how exactly will they shape under the current regime, only time shall tell. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like it. Also, subscribe to the channel. Take care of yourself and your families. God bless us all. Thank you.